Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips, better known as the front man.
I'm Molly Bay.
Better known as...
The cat.
Kitty cat. Oh, we're all wearing our Halloween costumes. I have a mask on, so if you listen to me on the podcast, that's why it sounds a little muffled.
And I'm dressed like a cat.
Yes. I am not going to wear this the whole time. And this is not my full costume. It's just a hat. She was dressed up as a cat because of a Girl Scouts thing today, so we figured we would do it. That's what she's wearing for Halloween. This is what I'm doing for Halloween. Anyhow, this is hot. I'm really hot.
Oh, well, if it's cold, that'll be nice for you.
Whew, yeah.
Yeah, got done with my Girl Scout meeting, and I'm like, I am not washing my face and putting on another full face of makeup.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. So you guys are going to have to suffer through me looking like a cat.
It's a little off-centered there with your thing. Maybe it's the way you're sitting.
It might be the way I'm sitting.
Yeah, I didn't notice it before.
It's the camera. It just pulls all that stuff out of it.
It's the camera's fault.
Now my nose, I'm like, oh, I can see part of my nose.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, now you know.
I know. Well, I don't plan on being on camera on Halloween, so.
All right, guys. Today is October 27th. We are still on our high from whooping up on the Chicago Bears Sunday. What a beatdown it was. It was so great.
Oof.
I still haven't seen our neighbor. I have never gone this long without seeing him. I
know. He goes to the trash every day.
Yeah. And
we're very centrally located, so most everyone has to walk by us.
So we I've been sitting out there waiting for him, and he's just I don't know. He probably hasn't left his house
Ralph's
since
parked
Sunday.
out on his doorstep.
Yeah. So got the All 22 done. Finished that today. I don't know if you noticed, if you've been looking on YouTube, we put out a couple of shorts and everything. I'm probably going to go more that route than doing a whole, big videos and stuff, because just the way that they have the All 22 set up on the Game Pass now with the NFL, it just makes it more difficult. And plus, it didn't really seem to get that much traction. And I love doing it. And I think this will probably be more of an entertaining way. So we're going to figure this out as we go along. A lot of people seem to like the little short clips better anyhow. So before we do anything, I do want to thank our listeners. Y'all guys are the best, man. Y'all sending us all those messages, wondering where we were at and if everything was okay and all that good stuff was really, really nice. And then, we put out the, saying that, hey, if y'all want to donate, if anybody's interested in, showing support in that way, the link down at the bottom in the description through Anchor and all that good stuff. And we had quite a few people, and I am very impressed with you guys, man.
And thankful. You're the reason I'm doing the podcast as a cat, because normally I would have said, we're just going to do this tomorrow. See, I can't do it like this.
That's the thing, we need accountability, and, we've got people that we have to be accountable now. So it's like, okay, let's do a podcast.
I know, we can't disappoint the people.
You can't brush it off now.
Mm-mm.
So, which we're fantastic for doing, if you haven't noticed. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to cover the All 22 and what we saw in the Chicago game. We got some Bucs news, some news around the league. What do you got, Molly? We haven't discussed what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, at all. We're out of practice. Hold on, I just have a couple things. So Antonio Brown has an ankle sprain near his heel, and they're saying they don't even know if he's going to be back after the bye. BA said it could be more long-term, and AB was spotted at practice on crutches.
Wow. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's not great news for my fantasy, and you're welcome for going and snagging him. And now you don't have to deal with an injured AB.
Yeah, right.
So you're welcome. Ralph did you a favor.
Yeah, sure.
But 4 players were spotted in pads at practice. Gronk, Levante, Richard Sherman, and Jamel Dean.
Carlton Davis is still out. It's going to be a while with him, apparently.
I don't like to hear that.
Yeah. But, like I said, I mean, I love Carlton Davis. He's done great, but the guys we've plugged in his stead they've done great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Gronk is expected to play. They're reporting. Sources say. And then here's around the league, and I don't know if it'll impact us for the game or not. The Texans are trading Mark Ingram to the Saints.
Really?
Yeah. So he started his career there, and now he's heading back.
Wow.
I doubt
he
that
didn't do anything after he left. Didn't he go to Seattle for a little bit?
I want to say Baltimore.
Okay.
And now he's with the Texans, and he could have been with Seattle. I don't know. But I would not expect him to play against us.
They've got a couple people out.
So maybe they need him.
Yeah. Michael Thomas should be back for our game this Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. You heard anything else on that?
I didn't even hear that. So no. I had no idea. I have been running around all day, so I haven't been paying attention to the news much. But I can't believe he's actually going to play against us. I would think that would be a pretty good opportunity for him to stay on the bench.
Right. I've got a follow-up. I forgot about this one. The Conan the Barbarian saying... It was, he was asked, what is best in life? And his answer was to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Oh. And
supposedly that is a paraphrased quote from Genghis Khan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That's one of the great lines from that movie. Not the best movie in the world, especially if you watch it now. It's kind of real cheesy, but at the time it was really huge. It was kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger's big breakout movie. I
don't know that I've ever seen it.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But that is a great line. And of course he says it in the honored voice. To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you.
Has he ever done a movie where he doesn't just talk like that?
No, that's all he knows how to talk.
Okay.
That Austrian accent.
No other range. That's okay. That's not why they hire him, so.
No, he's not known for his acting abilities. Although, he's done some really good movies. Twins, I loved Twins. Him and Danny DeVito, that was a great movie. The Running Man. I mean, he's done some good movies. I've always liked Arnold as a celebrity, not necessarily as a person. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So one thing that we did not talk about was Richard Sherman stepping in as coach with Kevin Ross.
That's right.
Being out on the COVID list.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and I love that about BA. He's just he wants everybody to be a coach. And he's constantly talking players into becoming coaches. How many players do we have on our team or on our coaching staff?
I know.
Keith
so
Tandy,
many.
Byron Leftwich,
Larry Foote.
Well, they all, I think, used to play.
Yeah.
I mean, Todd Bowles, he played with Arians at Temple.
Todd McNair. I'm trying to run through the coaches. Some of them are old. I don't know if they did. I mean, they probably did, but I don't recall.
That would be, I'm going to do a follow-up on that.
I think when we hired BA and he announced the coaching staff, I did a real in-depth thing on that. So I think I have it.
Go back through your notes.
Yeah, I got to go through my notes.
That'll save me from having to do
that'll be
research.
A follow-up. Yeah, because I think I created like a real elaborate table, like spreadsheet, all kinds of stuff. So we'll look into that.
I was looking at one of the follow-ups was when was the last time we had shut a team out? And it's been over a decade. It was,
wow.
Well, I say over a decade, but 2012, week 15, December 16th against the New Orleans Saints.
We just shut out
41-zip.
Ooh, I like
No,
that.
I'm sorry. I got that totally backwards. They shut us out. They scored 41. We scored zip. Well, that was the last shutout we participated in. How about that?
Ralph, that was the worst.
You were excited there.
I know. Did you even have to say anything?
No, actually, our last shutout was 2010. It was against San Francisco 49ers, November 21st, week 11.
Okay.
21-zip.
I like that. Okay.
10. That
better.
That was Raheem Morris.
That was probably the 10-6 season.
Yep, 10-6. You are exactly correct. Greg Olson was our offensive coordinator, and Raheem Morris was our defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem, he was head coach and defensive coordinator. Took on a lot there, didn't he? That was back when the Glazers didn't want to pay anybody anything.
Yeah.
That was that weird, there was like no salary cap. There was like 2-3 years where teams could spend as much or as little as they wanted to, and we chose to not spend anything.
Yeah.
But we decided to go ahead and buy a soccer team now, so, there's that.
They were pinching pennies.
That's what we did with our savings.
Yeah.
Okay. You got any more news?
No,
with the Buccaneers?
that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. The Bucs coach Bruce Arians was asked about the difference he sees with Jameis Winston now with New Orleans Saints and the Jameis Winston that he coached. And he said, this is hilarious. He said, yeah, pretty much there was a big difference. One, they're playing with a lead. We never played with a lead. And he's probably throwing it 15 times a game now.
Oh.
So, yeah, he said, so, yeah, he's playing very, very well. Considering.
Ooh. Shots.
I know.
Shots
I was
fired.
like, he's playing great because he's not throwing it and they have the lead all the time.
They're not giving it to him.
Oh, that game Monday night was just horrible. Horrible. That was an ugly, ugly, ugly game. And I tell you, man, the Mahomes effect is in full throttle. Both those quarterbacks. It was raining really, really bad there, but still no excuse for any of that mess. It was just ugly. That was an ugly game. And the only thing that saved the Saints was Alvin Kamara. He had 50%. Mm-hmm. He had 50% of the ball touches, carries and passes and all that. And one of the announcers, there was at one point, let's see, when the Saints got the ball, and I think it was tied up, and they had like a minute and a half left or something like that. So they had to go down the field and get field goal range, which they eventually did. But as they were doing it, they were just giving it to Alvin Kamara, like the whole drive. And the announcer was like, with the way things are going tonight, I think that's a pretty good idea to give it to Alvin Kamara.
We've seen that song and dance one too many times.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so interesting with Jameis. Jameis can have a good game, but I think this is just going to be, it's going to kind of probably be an embarrassment for him. Mm. I was wondering if Jameis was going to make it to this week to play us before he was benched, but because their other quarterback is injured, he's really the only one they got. So, they...
Yeah, but Jameis isn't doing that bad yet.
You watched part of that game, didn't you? No, that's right. Yeah.
Kind of.
So, no, I don't think he's doing great at all. He's playing Jameis ball.
Yeah, but it hasn't cost them yet. Like, to me, I don't see a reason that you can justify benching him yet.
Yeah.
They're mediocre. They're okay. They're not doing horribly, but they're not shutting people. They're not having these spectacular showings.
No.
They're squeaking out wins. So.
Yeah, well, they're 4-2.
Yeah.
And 2 games behind us.
Right. So, I mean, they might be ugly games, but they're wins nonetheless. So,
yeah, that's the only stat that matters.
Yeah.
Ugly win is still a win.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see how we don't embarrass them. I mean,
yeah, I don't either.
It might be close, and of course, it's any given Sunday; they can always win. But there's just don't see it, man. It is, and we know all you got to do is fluster Jameis and just give the appearance of pressure, and that's it. That's how you beat Jameis.
Our defensive backs know that. Our pass rush knows that. And they cannot wait. They are chomping at the bit.
Yes. JPP wants some
revenge.
Some Jameis.
Yeah. Think about how many times Jameis lost that, the defense will put us in a position to win and Jameis lost it for us. They want some revenge for that.
Yes.
So, and in particular, guys who care about winning, like JPP, who had to endure that. So,
did you see? Well, I know you did. The Leonard Fournette mic'd up. That was great. He's just plowing over people. He's running and he's giggling the whole time.
Having a good time.
Yeah, he was balling. And at the end, he was like, "Oh, I forgot I was mic'd up." Oh no, he tweeted that out. He retweeted it and he said, "Oh, dang, I forgot I was mic'd up." But then there's another one out there with JPP, and it's great. He's just.
I didn't watch that one. I did see the Lenny one.
You can barely hear what he's saying most of the time, but you could just he's just fired up. He's an intense player. And the boat, when they score the touchdowns, the boat, and it's funny. You can see defensive guys coming off the bench. The second and third stringer. I mean, one boat line we had to have been 20 guys.
Long, yeah.
And one of them, no, both times, Stewart, Mr. Irrelevant, ran out there and got in the boat line. He was like, woo.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's got so much energy, man. That guy's just a little wound-up toy.
He looks like the Tasmanian devil. That's what he reminds me of.
Crazy hair, the Viking. Who? Oh, yeah, the Green Bay Packers. They're playing Arizona Thursday night. Now, Arizona is undefeated. Green Bay's 6-1. That's going to be a good game. But all of the Packers receivers are out.
The studs. They're star receivers. And this one makes no sense. Okay. So Devontae Adams tested positive. He's vaccinated. But now Lazard is unvaccinated. He's out because he's a close contact. And it's one of those where it's like, oh, so the vaccinated guy brings it in. And now you're punishing the unvaccinated guy. Like, the vaccinated guy will probably come back before the unvaccinated.
Lazard's not, he wasn't tested positive?
I don't think so. I think he's just a close contact.
he was just around a vaccinated person that had it. Man, this stuff is just so weird. And one of their coaches, too. But anyhow, that puts Randall Cobb in position to be their number one receiver. Well, that's some old school stuff there. Remember Randall Cobb and Aaron Rodgers? They were constantly slinging it. Randall Cobb did have one good game this year with them. He scored like 2 or 3 touchdowns.
He might be a good pickup.
Yeah, well, I've got so many good receivers. I don't really care.
I'm missing Antonio Brown, so I could probably use one.
Well, you should be way up there on the waiver wire.
No, because I beat you.
Oh, that's right. So you're 4th? I'm 3rd. Okay.
Maybe.
I know people love hearing about our fantasy football.
I know. Lazard, he was a close contact. So he did not even.
That's what? So you can be okay. You can be held out of a game because you were near somebody who had COVID or who tested positive. We went through all this. We went over it at the beginning of the season, all the new rules and protocols and stuff, and they were just silly then. Now that they're being implemented, it's twice as silly. Oh my goodness! All right, Mike Evans is already the 7th. He's 7th place on most touchdowns thrown by Tom Brady. 7th. That's pretty good.
Well, they could never hang on to receivers that long.
Yeah, it's true.
They wouldn't keep anybody in New England.
That's true.
But still, that's pretty impressive behind who, like Edelman,
Well,
Amendola, Gronk.
Gronk's number 1. Number 2 is Edelman with 41. Right now, Evans has 21. So he's got, let's see, White has 27 touchdowns. So that's the next one he's going to pass. Moss is 3rd with 40.
Ooh.
So, Evans could theoretically.
Were they together that long? Randy Moss and...
A couple years. Yeah.
Didn't realize
Maybe 3. I don't know.
So long before my time.
You just like trying to make me feel old.
I was in high school then.
Antonio Brown is on the list.
Really?
Yeah, he's got 11.
Wow.
I thought it would be more than that. Godwin's got... I can't even read this. It's so small. Godwin's right behind Antonio Brown with 11. So they're tied. That's weird. You forget that Antonio Brown only played 1 game with Tom Brady in New England. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just seems like they've been together forever.
Yeah, I don't get that whole thing.
What whole thing?
The Antonio Brown, Tom Brady thing.
Me neither.
I don't understand. There's something there, clearly, but...
Yeah, and Tom Brady really stands up for him. Mm-hmm. So there is definitely something there. So, running back Mark Ingram. Okay, I was thinking of the tight end. Wasn't there a tight end named Ingram? Yeah, the Texans are trading running back
Graham.
Mark Ingram.
Graham? Are you thinking of
That must
Jimmy
have been
Graham?
Jimmy Graham. That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have the same ending on the last name. Ingram,
Yes.
Graham.
Yes. So, any other news around the league?
No.
Or
I have an injury report. The first one of the week.
go over it real quick.
Okay.
Just zip through it because it's going to change Friday.
I know. Okay. Giovanni Bernard has a chest injury. He was a full participant. Antonio Brown with the ankle did not participate. Levante David has the ankle. He was limited. Jamel Dean, full participant. D. Delaney has an ankle injury. He did not participate. Why? Gronk with the rib injury. He was limited. O.J. Howard has an ankle injury. He was limited. Anthony Nelson has an elbow injury. He was a full participant. JPP with the shoulder and the hand did not participate. Richard Sherman with the hamstring was limited. And Sue has a knee injury. He did not participate. And then on the Saints side, Deontay Harris has a hamstring injury. He did not participate. Taysom Hill with a concussion did not participate. Marshawn Lattimore has a hand injury. He was a full participant. Guard Andres Pete has a pec injury. He did not participate. Defensive end Peyton Turner has a calf injury. He did not participate. And running back Dwayne Washington has a neck injury. He did not participate.
You know that guy who Mike Evans gave the 600 touchdown ball to? Mm-hmm. His name was Byron Kennedy, and somebody gave us the information of all the stuff he got. Can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. His name is Byron Kennedy, and he's the nephew of U.S. Congressman Charlie Crist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All these elites.
But he did the right thing. What a good fan. What a good fan.
Tom Brady was on Monday Night Football with Eli and Peyton Manning, ESPN. If you don't watch that, it's pretty funny. They just sit there and they have guests on, but they'd sit there and they watch the game and comment on it. But Tom Brady was there, and they asked him about that. And he said, well, the guy realized right after we took it that he had just lost all of his leverage.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I have it. So he got 2 signed Brady jerseys and a helmet, a signed Evans jersey, and game cleats. It's the least Mike could do, frankly. $1,000 at the team store, and 2 season tickets for the rest of this season. And I saw also next season, too.
And Tom Brady's giving him a Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Which he said that on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. And I think Gronk on Twitter said he gave him a Bitcoin, too. But I don't know.
So that's, what a Bitcoin, like 50,000 a piece. That's $100,000 just in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That football is worth a lot of money.
Just to get it back.
It could possibly be the most valuable football memorabilia in NFL history right now as it stands. I don't know. Interesting.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. So this is from TMZ Sports. They said Rob Gronkowski and I don't know who this person is, Mojo Mutati. Do you know who that is?
No.
Anyway, are hooking up the guy with 30,000 in tokens. So crypto. Some kind of crypto. Not Bitcoin.
So he's getting that on top of the 2 Bitcoins?
No. There's only one Bitcoin.
Okay. It's Gronkowski and this other guy are giving him 30,000 and some other weird token.
Exactly.
So the NFL, ESPN, all these guys, they have their rankings out. They do this all the time, every week after every game. You know, they come out, update their rankings. And generally, it's basically just a list of the standings. You know, it's like ESPN and both NFL have Arizona Cardinals as the number 1 team in the league. Behind them, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both teams. Then the Rams, the Packers. It's just like, it's silly. You know, it's just look at the standings and everything. But they do have, of course, the Chiefs at, I think they were at 12 or something like that.
That's pretty low, actually.
Yeah, it's lower than I expected they would have them, but it was higher than most 3 and 4 teams. You know, they had them mixed in with
they're 3 and 4.
Yeah, right. You like that?
That's pretty funny.
Yes, they are 3 and 4. And I'm saying that without actually even knowing it. Yes, 3 and 4. They're at the bottom of their division.
Wow. Whoa.
Nobody saw that coming, did they? Except we might have said it. We definitely said they were going to have a rough time this year. It is so hard. And this is something else I want to do a follow-up on. Let's go back and look at teams that have lost the Super Bowl and how they fared from then on out. I'm telling you, man, it's rare. It is rare if you unless it's a close game. But if you get beat in the Super Bowl, and especially if you get beat up, that's usually it. I mean, look at Seattle. You know, when the Patriots beat them, what have they done since then? I don't know.
Was it the Patriots or Denver?
It's Patriots.
Didn't Peyton Manning beat Seattle in the Super Bowl? Or he beat the Panthers?
No, that was Carolina, wasn't it? No, I can't remember. Who knows?
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
So we don't have to do a...
They went 12 and 4 last year. They're doing horrible this year. Gosh, that Geno Smith looked bad.
Oh, it was the Panthers.
What was the Panthers?
That Peyton Manning beat.
Okay. Say they were 11 and 5 in 2019, 10 and 6 2018. So yeah, they haven't done that bad. I was trying to use them as an example, and it blew up in my face.
Yeah. Yeah, but they haven't been back, right?
No. No, they have not. They, let me see. When was that? 2015 they went to the Super Bowl, or 2016? Oh, I forget.
2014?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when our daughter was born. It was 2015. We were in the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I can't remember what happened, who they played. It was the Patriots, I guess.
Yeah, they went 12 and 4.
Okay.
So anyhow, they haven't done bad since then, but they haven't made it back to the Super Bowl. So there's that. I've got that going for me.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're ranked second across the board everywhere. right behind the Arizona Cardinals.
That is so ridiculous to me. Like, what have they done besides go 7-0?
Nothing. I mean, they're beating good teams, and they're beating decisively. It's not.
Yeah.
They're beating people worse than we are. So I wish we played them. We'll see them in the playoffs, though, most likely. Them or the Rams.
Maybe if they keep it up. I mean, you count that. I mean, Ralph, the playoffs are in 2 months. Like, it's going to be a while. There's a lot of football left to play.
Right. Are they going to be able to hold on?
Yeah, that's what it remains to be seen. You just never know.
Yes. But it'd be nice to play the Rams, get a revenge game against them. Well, we've lost to them 3 years in a row. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Twice, at least.
I think it's been 3 years.
Maybe.
But, I was hoping to have a revenge game this year, but the way they played, it didn't seem like it really mattered to them that much. It wasn't. It wasn't a important game to the Buccaneers, whereas to the Rams, it seemed like they really, really, really wanted to win it. And that's a great segue into the Chicago Bears game.
Okay, great.
Because that's exactly what I saw in that game was we really, really, really wanted to win that game. It was a revenge game, and they didn't care. It was
is their season over? Are they already quitting?
I think so. They definitely, I wouldn't say they quit in this game, but they quit. Not the players so much as the coaches.
Well, at a certain point, you're down so far, there's no
they
come back.
They came out in the second half. They were down 35-3, and they came out in the second half and just basically ran the ball for the half. They didn't really even try to score. I mean, it was kind of they were just running time off the clock a lot.
It's just one of those games they were like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And deservedly so, because we beat the ever-living crap out of them. I mean, what did we say after the game? What was our summary?
I don't remember. We beat the shit out of them. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. They were a bad team, I think, is what the conclusion we came to.
So, yes, we played the Rams 3 years in a row, lost all 3 times. Yes, we saw Tom Brady a little, the offense wasn't all that great. Fournette did good. It was really the defense that won us the game. It's all that ringing a bell. Man, you were drunk.
I mean, it's 3 days ago. I've had other stuff going. Can't remember.
And a lot of that was true watching the All-22, but I think I said I'd give the game ball to Fournette, I think was the thing. I'll change my standing on that, and I'll change my standing on what won us that game. It was our offensive line. Those guys were completely dominant. It might be the most dominant game I've ever seen them play.
And Donovan was talking his mess, coming out.
He said, I made 99 my son.
Yeah.
And he did, too. But it wasn't just 99. It was all of them. I mean, did anybody hear Khalil Mack's name during that game?
Mm-mm.
He got one pressure, and that was against 84, our tight end, Yeldon, was blocking him.
Brait's 84.
Or 82. The 82. Anyhow, Yeldon, our tight end, our third, fourth string.
Who we just activated from the practice squad.
Right. In there with Blaine Gabbert and all those guys.
Oh.
That's
Say no
the
more.
only
Say
pressure
no more.
Khalil Mack got. And we just beat the mess out of him. I mean, Tristan Wirfs was completely dominant. He actually got beat twice by the same guy, number 90, Wilkinson. Let me see, what's his name? Angelo Blackson. Never heard of him before. He beat Wirfs twice. This was the first quarter, and the one time he beat Wirfs held him, grabbed him around the waist. So it didn't really have any effect on the play. The second time he beat Wirfs was on a run play, and Blackman ended up making the tackle. So that's it. That was the only time Wirfs had any trouble. And it was like that across the board. I mean, Donovan was just literally beating people up. He was throwing guys around. And that 99, which he didn't go up against him a whole lot. I'd say it was about even, 90, 99, 91, 58. Those guys were the ones who were going against Donovan for the most part, and Mac, 52. But 99 didn't get nowhere with Donovan. I mean, and Donovan didn't even look like he was trying hard. And I was watching one play, and I called Molly over. I said, Molly, you got to see this. Donovan, the 99 comes running at Donovan, right? It's a pass play. Donovan stands there straight up. He's just standing there. He's not even in a position, with any leverage or nothing. And he reaches out with one hand, and he grabs 99 and just stops him. It stands there holding on to 99 with one hand. He's got his left hand is hanging by his side. Donovan's left hand is hanging by his side. He's standing there. He's not even doing anything. And he's actually looking around like he's bored to death while he's holding 99. It was hilarious. I was just like, wow, that is some dominance right there. 99's trying to get away from him and everything. And he just had him right by the,
It's embarrassing.
Had hold of him by the shoulder pad and was just kept him in place. It was like he was whistling. It was like, I've never seen that before.
I just love Donovan. I love this Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
The smack talker, shutting people down.
Yes. On defense, we did good, but we made a lot more mistakes than I thought. More missed tackles than I remember. I counted. Let me see. 8 missed. No, wait a minute. I've got it here somewhere. 7 missed tackles. It was a lot on those runs. They were getting good runs on us.
Oh yeah, they had a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, and it was always like we didn't want to get hurt. Is how I saw the guys out there. And we played a weird defense that we don't play a lot of. We do it, but we don't do it as much as we did in this game. And it's a cover 2 with 5 guys underneath playing zone, all in a straight line. There's a name for it, I'm sure.
Was that like for containment or?
Yeah, it was. They were trying to keep everything in front of them. They didn't want them to go deep, and they just totally took away all the mid-range stuff. I mean, and it was weird. The Chicago offense didn't seem to be able to do anything with that because they kept calling these mid-level plays and receivers were running out, 10, 15 yards, and they were completely covered. They had 5 guys across it was a line of guys lined up, 5 of them. And, Justin Fields would look out there and all he sees is a line of Buccaneers. And he was just like, I don't know what to do. So that was interesting. But we would do it. We had 2 variations of it. We would do a cover 2 with 5 underneath, or we'd do a cover 3 with 4 underneath. But they would be all in a line. It was interesting. But we probably ran a variation of those 2 probably about 60% of the time, which is weird for us because we don't run the same defense at all ever. We do. We throw in everything. It's just we're constantly changing our looks and our style. We'll do a cover 1, we'll do man, we'll do cover 2, we'll do zeros, we'll do just short zones. We do split field. We do everything you can think of on defense, and that's something I want to say about this team in general that we've never really brought up. But this team can do anything and everything, and they do anything and everything. Our offense can run any offense in the league. We could run anything you see anybody else do. We can run it and run it as good, and we do. We do RPOs, we do short screens, we do bombs, we do the West Coast offense, we do 4 verticals. We do everything you can think of in this offense, and we do the same thing on the defense. We to just run the game. You never know what we're going to bring to the table. Not at all, ever. And I found it very interesting watching this, that they did this type of defense a lot. We just normally don't run the same defense a lot. We vary it throughout the game. But in this game, we ran that defense quite a bit. It was very interesting. I liked it. I like the defense. It's kind of unique, but I don't know. It's just interesting. I like man coverage style defenses, but this weird zone thing where it's just 5 guys lined up 10 yards off the ball, but they don't line up that way. They start off looking like they're going to do something else. And then when the ball snaps, 5 guys will come, and a lot of them will come from the defensive line. Vita Vea will run back, Sue will run back, Golston, Barrett, somebody like that. And they'll all run back 10 yards and line up 5 across. So it'll be about 10 yards between each guy, 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. So it's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Do you think they'll do it more? They'll do it again?
No. Not like this. I think they did it just particularly for this game. I mean, they're going to throw it in there. I've seen them do it, throughout the year. And last year they did it some too. But this game was almost exclusively that style defense. Their receivers dropped the ball a lot. I didn't count. I wrote it down. I wrote down every time they dropped the ball, but they dropped the ball more than we did, and we dropped the ball a lot. I think I counted, let me see, 5 drop passes by us. So they probably had 7 or 8. Now, Fields was not throwing accurate passes. They were high and they were short and all this good stuff, but the receivers were getting their hands on it. And that was a lot of our dropped passes too, is they just weren't as accurate as Brady normally throws them. They were a little high, a little low, a little to the outside or whatever. Now, he was very bipolar in this game. He had some fantastic throws. I mean, just beautiful throws. That one throw to Godwin, going down the middle, he almost got that touchdown. This was late in the game. Man, that was a beautiful throw. And that was the one to Evans, that bomb to Evans, like 46-yarder. I mean, he just dropped it right in a breadbasket.
Like perfect.
Perfect. But then he had these schizo throws, where he would just, throw it, foot too high for the guys, Or like he threw one that Fournette was right at the goal line. It would have been a touchdown if he would have got it to him and he threw it at his feet. Fournette had to reach down to get it. He almost got it too, but it hit the ground and bounced up into his hands. So Brady didn't have his best game, but he had some great plays. And he had no pressure at all. He had all day back there. I think he got hit once, maybe.
They didn't have any sacks.
Yeah, that
might have been a quarterback hit.
I think he got hit once when Donovan took 91 and threw him. No, I'm dead serious. And he rolled into Brady's legs. I think that's the only time.
Donovan threw a defensive lineman at him.
Yeah. Jensen tackled a guy with another defensive lineman.
Oh, my gosh.
He blocked a defensive lineman with a defensive lineman. It was a beautiful play. I loved it. Jensen was a beast. He was fighting with everybody out there. Our team had
people ejected.
Yeah. That 98, I think it was.
97?
90. But yeah, he was fighting with a lot of guys, man. 58, 91, and that guy 98 or whatever his was. He was just going at it. From the first snap, he was in people's faces. They were in his faces. And somebody tossed him one time, and he got up and he was so mad. But, he's red anyhow, and he gets real red when he's angry. But then he wears that red tinted visor.
Yeah, you can't see.
Yeah, so he looks like the heat miser from the Christmas movie, But yeah, he turned around. He was yelling at this guy, and his face was so red. I thought the helmet was gonna fly off. It was like a volcano. But yeah, Jensen was getting some good licks in out there. He was fighting with everybody. It was great. Sue, I've never seen this before either. Normally Sue sits in his spot, right? Well, it was 2nd and 5, and they caught a pass, and we pushed him out of bounds. I think it was Jamal Dean pushed him out of bounds. Jamal Dean. And Sue and Vita were standing on the sideline. You never see that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see Vita stand on the sidelines every now and then, but Sue's always sitting on his throne. And
on his throne.
And so the Chicago Bear guy, he gets pushed out of bounds, and he goes in between those two. And you see them, they both turn to him, and you see Sue just start talking crap. I mean, he's like yelling at the guy, and the guy didn't do anything. He just got pushed out of bounds. But, I mean, Sue was like, his face was, he had that look on his face, like, I want to eat you alive, and he was yelling at the guy. Yeah, we did not like those Bears guys, and we played with so much more energy, and we were mean to them. We were just mean to them. And it was nice to see. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, seeing Sue do that was very, very strange. He's usually very calm, cool, and collective. And to see him yelling at some guy on the sideline, that didn't do anything. Number 44 on their team, Ogletree, Alec Ogletree, he's good. And he's been in the league for like 8 years. Mm-hmm. He's played with the Giants, the Rams, the Jets.
We had an Ogletree. I think they were siblings.
Okay.
Remember, I think ours was the receiver. I can't remember his first name. I don't know if they were siblings. I don't know if they just had How common is the name Ogletree?
In the NFL? Mm-hmm. Don't know.
Well, I don't know. Just in general. But yeah, we had a receiver named Ogletree.
The O.J. Howard, he did good blocking.
Oh.
He blocked Khalil Mack like 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, with no problem. And quite a few of them were like sustained blocks, for 3 seconds or more. It was quite impressive. Yeah, O.J. Howard didn't have any problem blocking this game. None of us did. None of the linemen. If there was a weakest link, again, it's going to be Kappa. He had a few, but he recovered well. In in the third quarter, from 5:40 to 2:14, so almost 3 minutes, we ran the ball 6 straight times and got 60 total yards.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Wow.
Here it was. We got 12 yards the first time, 19 yards the second time, 12 yards the third time, 9 yards the fourth time, 5 yards the fifth time, and 3 yards the sixth time. And then on that play, they got a penalty. That was 15-yarder. That's the one where Jensen got punched Jensen in the face. So
that was probably my favorite play of the game.
Yeah, so we went like 75 yards in 3 minutes, all running with 15-yard penalty tacked on at the end. And they knew we were running. We were up 35-3. They stacked the box. We were just blowing them off the line. I mean, Fournette and Jones had holes you could drive a Mack truck through. A lot of times they didn't get touched till they were in the secondary. So that was good to see. Our offensive line really enjoyed this game. You could tell. They enjoyed it.
It's a revenge game, I think.
Mm-hmm. But that 44 Ogletree, he's really good. He's very fast, athletic. He's smart.
What is he, a linebacker?
Yeah, I want to say yes. But he's the one that stuffed Ronald Jones when he tried to jump over the pile to get in the end zone and ended up fumbling it. That was Ogletree that jumped at the same time and met him in the air. Bam! So that was a good play. But he had quite a few plays where I was impressed. I normally don't really pay attention to the opponents as far as whether they're good or not. But when they stand out to me, I'll write them down. I'll say, okay, this guy's, he's popping. And the Ogletree was one. He had a lot of good plays. Yeah, he's been in the league since 2013. So it's 8 years. Yeah, so in the fourth quarter, they just pretty much ran the ball most of the time. They didn't really try. They were down 38-3 with 12 minutes and 51 seconds left, and they just ran it. And then we put our second string offense in there, and that's when Khalil Mack got his pressure with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left against
garbage time stats.
against
Might
our
as
second
well.
string. So in summary, we played harder. We wanted the game a lot more. It seemed like we wanted this revenge game. I heard Tom Brady talk about it. Matter of fact, I heard a lot of our players talk about, they felt like they should have won last year. They got robbed. They got something to prove. And the Bears just didn't seem like they had the stomach for it. Like I said, Jensen came out, fighting. Offensive line came out fighting. And by the middle of the second quarter, it just seemed like they were just like, all right, let's just go home. O-line played fantastic. I think they deserve the game ball. Brady has some great passes, some not so great. Brady was kind of bipolar. We had 5 dropped passes. One was by Darden, which was thrown by Gabbert. So we had 2 miscommunications between receiver and Brady. They were both Evans. We had 8 missed uncalled penalties. Half of them were on the Bucs. So, and we had 7 missed tackles. So that was the summary of the game. Special teams played great. 28 running back Thompson. He's the new Ryan Smith. I don't know where we get these guys from.
I've never heard of him.
I know, me neither.
Are you sure his name's Thompson?
That's what it was on the back of his jersey.
That's weird. I've never heard of that person.
Yeah, he was a practice squad running back, Darwin Thompson. And he was out there balling, man. I mean, just killing it. Yeah. We kicked off to them, and the guy was tackled at like the 15-yard line. It was a great punt, and I said kickoff, but it was a punt. And the guy was tackled immediately. That was 28. And he was there every single time. And he had, let me see, he had a great block too. He had the block that sprung Darden for that 40-some yard. That was 28. Yeah, okay. So I like that guy, man. Jpp Strip Sack. That was funny. You've got to watch it, and watch it on when he's mic'd up, because he comes and he strip sacks it, or he strips the ball out. The ball falls and it's rolling, and everybody's fighting for it. JPP's just strutting. He's not even looking at the ball or anything. People are flying around him, and he's just got his chest out and he's kicking his feet up. He's just like, what? It was so cool. I mean, just like, I don't know, man. It's just JPP.
If they had gotten the ball back, we would have been mad that he was celebrating.
That's the one Barrett got and then tried to toss it to Devin White.
Oh, be fancy about it.
Well, Barrett picked the ball up and he was falling forward, and you can see Devin White saying to him, "Throw me the ball." He's putting out his hands like, throw it here. So Barrett went to throw it to him as he was falling, and it just kind of flung up in the air.
That's why they're on the defense.
Yes. And then the last thing, Vita Vea, he did all right, but he tackled this guy, or he was going to tackle the runner, and somebody else got to him before Vita did. Vita was coming up from behind, and so Vita reaches out and grabs him as the guy's still standing up, and he's not down yet. And Vita likes to come up and push guys when they're not down yet. And so Vita comes up and he grabs hold of the guy, and the guy falls down, and Vita's standing there holding his towel like a flag football. Or, like he's playing flag football. It was so funny. You can see the disappointment on Vita's face. His whole posture just drops, and then he just takes that towel and just throws it on the ground. He was so pissed. He's like, man, those stats. I'm go get on the stats.
Robbed of a tackle.
Yes. So great game, guys. We really, really did dominate that game in every aspect: special teams, defense, offense. But our offensive line just played above and beyond, and that's going up against a really good Chicago Bears front seven. And we just manhandled them. It was an embarrassment for them. Yay. So hopefully we can do that Sunday against the Saints.
Yeah, it's coming.
I think it was a very good game for our offensive line and gave them a lot of confidence. And they're playing more aggressive, and I like that. I actually saw Wirfs pushing people around a couple of times after the play. He was shoving guys around.
Okay.
And I like that. I like to see that because, you know, I've saying that's one of his big issues is, you know, he's just not aggressive enough. And he's even said it. And, you know, this was the game last year that he gave up a sack on Khalil Mack, and Mack threw him, hip tossed him that time, which was after the whistle, and it should have been a penalty. And that's happened to Wirfs 3 times where he's gotten tossed by guys after the whistle. And he's got to stop doing that. You know, don't let up when the whistle happens, or, you know, when you're outside the play or whatever. And he didn't do it at this game. He was out there fighting with all the rest of them. So good to see. Yeah. All right. That's my summation of the Chicago Bears beatdown.
I think we're going to sustain it next week.
Man, I hope
this
so.
week. It'll be good.
I really hope so. They, I want revenge on Jameis just for that touchdown he threw against us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The disrespect.
Yeah. And he's the same Jameis. You know, he hasn't gotten any better. He's still doing the same mistakes. You know, he's I guarantee you, if you look at the standings, the New Orleans Saints offensive line is out of the top 10 for the first time since Drew Brees has been there, and it's the same offensive line. So, you know, they're down weapons, and you know we do a pretty decent job stopping Kamara. You know, so I think we're gonna. I know we're going to win. I
hope we keep the same energy we had this week.
Yes. Yeah. It's just, the question is just how bad are we going to beat these guys? You seem tired.
I am a little tired.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You ready for a cat nap?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
A little saucer of milk.
All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Again, we want to thank all of our supporters out there. And if you want to be a part of the Scallywags, the guys who support us, guys and gals, the winches and the Scallywags. Can women be Scallywags? I don't know.
Winches.
Yeah, we'll call them winches. Then go to the link at the bottom here or go to our website. I don't even think we have that up yet. But you can do donations. The monthly thing as low as 99 cents, I think, all the way up to $10 a month. You know, it's not a whole lot, and you get great content for it. And we're just very thankful that you guys are gracious enough to spend your hard-earned money to help us out and keep us going. We do appreciate that. Molly, anything to say?
No.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucs.